Dear students, welcome to our channel. Today's topic that is Bohr's atomic theory. According to this theory, electron is revolving round the nucleus in a circular path called orbit or shell. Second postulate, when an electron is revolving in a fixed shell, its energy remains constant. Energy of electron remains constant when it revolves in a fixed shell. When electron will gain energy, it will jump from lower to higher shell, and when will release energy, will jump back from higher to lower shell. When electron releases energy, jumps from higher to lower shell, and when absorbs energy, jumps from lower to higher shell. The energy either released or absorbed is directly proportional to the frequency of wave of light released or absorbed by electron. Therefore, E2 minus E1, that is equal to delta E, is proportional to nu. In order to replace sign of proportionality, we have to introduce the constant. Hence is equal to delta E is equal to h nu, where h is called Planck's constant and its value is 6.6262 10 raised to power minus 34 joule second. And last postulate, that is angular momentum of electron, which is mvr, is nth multiple of h over 2 pi, where n stands for number of the shell. Therefore, mvr is equal to nh over 2 pi. Here n is equal to 1 for first shell, 2 for second shell, 3 for higher shell, so on. These are the postulates of Bohr's atomic model. Now we have to calculate the radius of the hydrogen atom. Bohr's radius of hydrogen atom and hydrogen like ions. We know that an electron revolves around the nucleus in a circular path called orbit. And as the electron is negatively charged, the nucleus is positively charged, there will be some strong force of attraction between them, commonly called Coulombic force of attraction. This Coulombic force of attraction is given by the formula Coulombic force is equal to K Q1 Q2 over R square, where constant K is equal to 1 over 4 pi epsilon naught, where epsilon naught is the permittivity of vacuum. Q1 is the charge of electron, which is equal to the charge of proton, but its sign is opposite. We are just going to take the value, we are not taking the sign of the charge. Q2, this one I write here, charge of electron. Q2 is supposed to be the charge of nucleus, is equal to Z into E, where Z is the atomic number, E is the charge of the proton. Substituting all these values in first equation, we get Coulombic force of attraction, that is equal to E into ZE over 4 pi epsilon naught R square is equal to ZE square over 4 pi epsilon naught R square, equation number 1. This force of attraction is also given by another formula called centripetal force of attraction, as centripetal force of attraction is equal to mv square over r, equation number 2. Now, both are the forces of attraction, both can be equated. As both forces can be equated, therefore Coulombic force of attraction is equal to centripetal force of attraction. Hence, ZE square over 4 pi epsilon naught R square becomes equal to mv square over r. R is cancelled with r. Therefore, V square becomes equal to ZE square over 4 pi epsilon naught R m, equation number 3. Now, this formula tells that the velocity of the electron is inversely proportional to the radius of the atom. If radius is smaller one, then the velocity of the electron will be the higher one, greater one. If the radius increases, velocity of electron that increases. If the radius increases, velocity of the electron that will decrease. This velocity varies shell to shell, therefore should be replaced by some known factors. As we already have studied angular momentum of the electron, mvr is equal to nh over 2 pi. From this value, we can find as angular momentum is given by Bohr's postulate mvr is equal to nh over 2 pi. Therefore, r is equal to nh over 2 pi m r. Therefore, v is equal to nh over 2 pi m r, taking square of both sides. we get v square is equal to n square h square over 4 pi square m square r square. Equation number 4. Comparing equation 3 and 4, we get z e square over 4 pi epsilon r m is equal to n square h square over 4 pi square m square r square. 4 is cancelled with 4, pi with pi, m with m, and r with r. This r we have to calculate or find when it comes to the other side of the sign of equivalence. It becomes r is equal to n square h square. This epsilon naught when we come here will reach at this point is z e square into pi m. This is the equation number 5 and tells us the radius of the formula which gives the radius of an atom. All these values, these are constants, as h square epsilon naught over e square pi m is equal to 5.29 into 10 raised to power minus 11 meters, as 10 raised to power minus 10 meters. This is known as angstrom. Therefore, h square epsilon naught over e square pi m, that becomes equal to 0.529 angstrom, and 1 angstrom is equal to 10 raised to power minus 10 meters. Hence, radius of the atom that becomes equal to 0.529 angstrom into n square over z, as for hydrogen atom z is 1, n is 1, hence radius of first orbit of hydrogen atom that is equal to 0.529 angstrom. In this way, by using this formula, we can find the radius of any shell of hydrogen atom by replacing z with 1 and n with the number of the shell in which electron that is revolving. Similarly, we want to find the formula radius of second orbit of hydrogen atom. At the place of n, we will write 2. Answer will be 2 square over 1 into 0.529. Hence, we can find the radius of any shell of the hydrogen atom. If hydrogen-like ions, hydrogen ion is replaced by helium ion or lithium ion, then atomic number that will also be replaced by the known value accordingly. Thanks.